It started like any other Tuesday morning at the Pentagon. The coffee was bitter, the meetings were boring, and Major Tom Wilson was reviewing training reports for his military working dogs unit. Then the world changed forever. The massive alien ships appeared without warning. One moment, the skies were clear. The next, 12 dark shapes blocked the sun over major cities worldwide. They hung there like metal mountains, casting shadows over New York, London, Beijing, and other metropolitan centers. The first transmission came exactly 3 minutes after their arrival. People of Earth, the alien voice boomed through every electronic device capable of producing sound. I am Commander Rax of the Dominion Fleet. Your primitive civilization has been chosen for integration into our empire. You have 48 hours to submit to our authority. Resistance will be unfortunate. In the Pentagon's underground command center, General Mitchell slammed his fist on the table. They can't just show up and demand our surrender. Screens around the room showed panic spreading across cities worldwide. The UN Security Council was already gathering for an emergency session. Military bases worldwide went to high alert, though everyone knew their weapons might be useless against ships that big. Major Wilson watched all this while absently scratching behind the ears of his German shepherd, Scout. The dog sat calmly beside him, showing none of the panic that gripped the humans around them. "Sir," a young lieutenant burst into the room, "you need to see this. Our satellites picked up something strange about their ships." The images showed massive energy readings around what appeared to be biological detection systems. The aliens were scanning Earth intensively, looking for something specific. "They're searching for weapons," the analyst explained. "But these scanners, they're tuned to detect enhanced biological signatures. Whatever they're looking for, it's alive." General Mitchell turned to Major Wilson. "Tom, how combat-ready are your enhanced units?" "Scout's team is at peak performance, sir. All 6 dogs completed the new training protocols last week. They're the best we've got." The general nodded slowly, a plan forming. "The aliens are expecting primitives with sticks and stones. They don't know about our latest advances in military working dog programs. Maybe we can use that." More reports flooded in. The aliens have positioned smaller ships in the upper atmosphere, creating a network that could detect any missile launch or aircraft takeoff. They were prepared for conventional warfare, but they kept scanning for biological weapons. In the UN Security Council's emergency session, representatives argued about the response. Some wanted immediate surrender. Others demanded military action. The Chinese representative suggested they might negotiate better terms. Then the second alien transmission came. "We detect your primitive attempts at defense coordination." Commander Rax's voice held a note of amusement. "Be assured, your crude weapons cannot harm our ships. Submit, and your transition to Dominion rule will be peaceful. Resist, and we will be forced to demonstrate our power." Major Wilson looked down at Scout, who looked back with intelligent eyes. The dog's enhanced intelligence was a closely guarded secret. After years of careful breeding and training, combined with some cutting-edge but completely ethical genetic modifications, the military had developed dogs with near-human problem-solving abilities while maintaining their loyal and protective nature. "Major Wilson," General Mitchell's voice cut through his thoughts. "Get your team ready. You're being transferred to Site Echo." Site Echo was one of the military's most secure facilities, buried deep in the Rocky Mountains. It housed the Advanced Dog Training Program and other classified projects. "Yes, sir." Tom stood, Scout rising smoothly beside him. "What should I tell the team?" The general looked at the screens showing the alien ships, then at Scout. Tell them we might need to unleash the beast. Let's show these aliens that humanity's best friend has some bite to go with his bark." As Tom and Scout left the command center, neither they nor anyone else noticed how the alien ship's scanning intensity increased dramatically. Somewhere up there, Commander Rax was receiving reports about unusual biological signatures from the Pentagon. The clock was ticking. Earth had 47 hours left to submit, or to show the Dominion fleet that sometimes the fiercest weapons come in unexpected packages. Scout's tail wagged as they headed for the helicopter. Whatever was coming, he was ready. High above Earth, Commander Rax stood on the bridge of his flagship, studying the holographic displays of the planet below. His four-fingered hand tapped nervously on the command console as new data streamed in. "Commander," his science officer spoke up, "we've intercepted more of their communications. They keep referring to something called the Beast." Rax's spine ridges stiffened. "Show me." The holographic display shifted, showing intercepted messages from various military bases. The words "Unleash the Beast" appeared repeatedly, along with references to enhanced units and peak performance. "Analysis suggests they've developed some form of biological weapon," the science officer continued. "The energy signatures we detected at their military facility match no known Earth species." Meanwhile, on Earth, Major Wilson's helicopter touched down at Site Echo. The facility was carved into the mountain, with massive steel doors that looked strong enough to withstand a nuclear blast. Scout jumped out first, alert but calm. Inside, the facility hummed with activity. Scientists in white coats rushed between labs, and military personnel moved with urgent purpose. In one large chamber, 5 other dogs like Scout sat at attention: a Belgian Malinois, 2 more German Shepherds, and 2 Dutch Shepherds. All wore advanced tactical gear. "Major Wilson," Dr. Reed greeted them. "She was the lead scientist for the enhanced dog program. The general told me you're coming. How much does the alien fleet know?" "They know something's here," Tom replied, watching Scout greet his fellow enhanced dogs. "Their ships keep scanning for biological signatures." Above them, Commander Rax was reaching similar conclusions. His sensors showed concentrated biological readings from Site Echo that made no sense. Whatever was down there had brain patterns unlike anything in the Dominion's vast database. "Look at these neural activity readings," his science officer pointed to a display. "The energy output suggests incredible intelligence, yet it's combined with predatory instincts. The humans have created monsters." Rax remembered stories of other worlds that had developed biological weapons. None of those planets existed anymore. The Dominion had been forced to sterilize them completely. Back at Site Echo, Tom watched as Scout and the other dogs demonstrated their abilities for a group of UN observers. The dogs solved complex puzzles, demonstrated tactical coordination that would shame most special forces teams, and showed their ability to understand and respond to situations that would challenge most humans. "Incredible," the French observer whispered as Scout decoded a complex encryption sequence faster than a computer. "And they're still completely loyal. That's what makes them special," Dr. Reed explained. "We enhanced their intelligence and physical capabilities, but we never changed their hearts. They're still dogs. They still love, protect, and serve. They're humanity's best friend, just upgraded." In orbit, Rax was making plans of his own. "We can't risk letting them deploy these weapons," he declared. "Prepare the biocontainment fields. When they reveal their beast, we must be ready to capture and study it. Such weapons cannot be allowed to exist." The Dominion fleet shifted position, creating a net of energy fields that could trap and contain any biological weapon. They expected something massive, terrifying, perhaps with tentacles or acid blood. At Site Echo, final preparations were underway. The enhanced dogs were fitted with their advanced gear, lightweight armor, communication systems, and specialized tools. Scout stood proudly as Tom checked his equipment one last time. "Sir," a lieutenant rushed in. "The aliens are broadcasting again." Commander Rax's voice filled the facility. "We know of your secret weapon, humans. We have detected your beast. Know that its use will be considered an act of war. The Dominion has destroyed civilizations for less." Tom looked at Scout, who tilted his head curiously at the alien voice. The dog's tail wagged slightly, ready for whatever came next. "Well, boy," Tom scratched Scout's ears. Looks like we've got them scared, ready to show them what a real beast can do. Scout's response was a happy bark that echoed through the facility. Somewhere up in orbit, Commander Rax's sensors detected the sound and classified it as a war cry. Both sides prepared for the confrontation to come. One expected a monster. The other was bringing man's best friend. The Dominion flagship's bridge was silent except for the soft beeping of monitoring equipment. Commander Rax studied the latest scans of Site Echo, his facial scales shifting to a darker shade of gray, a sign of deep concern among his species. The beast's neural patterns are off the charts, his science officer reported. Look at these readings. It can solve complex problems faster than our best computers. And these physical capabilities, it could tear through reinforced steel. Rax's second-in-command, Sub-Commander Vix, stepped forward. Perhaps we should simply destroy the facility from orbit. No, Rax replied. If we strike first, other human facilities might release their beasts in retaliation. We must contain this threat. Down at Site Echo, the mood was very different. Scout and the other enhanced dogs were playing fetch in the training room, taking turns catching balls that would test their enhanced abilities. The balls were actually complex puzzle toys that required the dogs to solve mathematical sequences to release treats. Tom watched as Scout caught one, twisted it in exactly the right pattern, and happily munched his reward. Good boy. Dr. Reed approached with a tablet showing the alien fleet's positions. They've created some kind of energy net around the facility. Whatever they're expecting, they want to catch it. If they only knew. Tom chuckled as Scout brought him the solved puzzle ball, tail wagging. Ready to meet some aliens, boy? Scout's bark echoed through the facility. Up in orbit, the sound registered on alien sensors, causing several junior officers to jump. Their beast grows restless, Vix observed nervously. Look at these sound wave patterns. Such power. A human transmission interrupted their analysis. It was from the UN Secretary-General. Commander Rax, we propose a demonstration. Allow us to show you our capabilities in a controlled setting. Perhaps then you will understand Earth's true strength. Rax's crew looked at him anxiously. After several tense moments, he responded, Agreed. But know that any hostile action will result in immediate planetary bombardment. The arrangements were made quickly. A meeting would take place in a valley near Site Echo. The aliens would land a small shuttle, and humans would bring their beast to demonstrate its abilities. At Site Echo, final preparations were underway. Scout was fitted with his best tactical vest, which included advanced sensors and communication gear. The other enhanced dogs watched enviously. They all wanted to meet the aliens. Remember, Dr. Reed told Tom, Scout's intelligence enhancement allows him to understand complex situations. He'll know how to behave. I'm not worried about Scout, Tom replied, watching his dog calmly checking his own equipment. It's the aliens I'm worried about. They're expecting some kind of monster. In orbit, Commander Rax prepared his security team. They wore the heaviest battle armor the Dominion had ever developed, carried weapons that could stop charging megafauna, and had personal shield generators. Be ready for anything, he instructed them. These humans are either very brave or very foolish to show us their weapon. Either way, we must be prepared. The alien shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere as humans gathered at the meeting site. Military leaders, scientists, and UN officials stood ready. Tom and Scout waited patiently in a nearby tent. Life signs detection is going crazy, the alien pilot reported. Whatever's in that tent, its brain activity is incredible. Commander Rax stood straighter in his armor. Remember, no one makes any aggressive moves. If the beast attacks, the containment field goes up immediately. The shuttle landed. Commander Rax and his heavily armed team emerged, looking like walking tanks in their battle gear. The humans, in simple uniforms, seemed impossibly vulnerable in comparison. We are ready, Rax announced, his voice slightly shaky despite his best efforts. Show us your beast. Tom stepped out of the tent. Come on, Scout. Time to make some new friends. Scout trotted out happily, his tail wagging, tongue lolling out in a friendly dog smile. He sat perfectly at attention beside Tom, looking up at the heavily armed aliens with bright, intelligent eyes. The silence that followed was broken only by Scout's cheerful bark of greeting. Commander Rax blinked all three of his eyes rapidly. His heavily armed security team stood frozen, their weapons trained on what appeared to be a furry animal with a wagging tail. "Is this some kind of joke?" Rax demanded, his voice crackling through his armor speakers. "Where is the beast?" "Our sensors detected an enhanced biological weapon." Tom smiled and patted Scout's head. "This is Scout. He's what you've been detecting. Would you like to see what he can do?" The alien commander stared at Scout, who tilted his head curiously at the strange-looking beings. Scout's enhanced intelligence let him understand that these were just nervous newcomers who needed to be shown that Earth was friendly. "Impossible," the alien science officer whispered, checking his scanners. "The neural patterns, they're coming from this small creature." "Scout," Tom commanded, "show them training pattern Alpha." What happened next made the alien step back in amazement. Scout moved like lightning, running through an obstacle course that appeared far too complex for any animal. He solved mathematical puzzles displayed on holographic screens, decoded encrypted messages faster than computers, and demonstrated problem-solving abilities that seemed impossible. But it's so small," Sub-Commander Vix exclaimed. "Where are its acid glands? Its battle claws? Its atomic breath weapon?" Tom couldn't help laughing. "Scout doesn't need any of those. He's a dog, specifically a German Shepherd. We've enhanced his intelligence and physical capabilities, but at heart, he's still man's best friend." Scout finished his demonstration by bringing the solved puzzle cube to Commander Rax, sitting politely in front of the heavily armored alien and offering the cube with a gentle wag of his tail. The alien commander stared at the dog, then at his weapons, then back at the dog. Slowly, very slowly, he reached down with his armored hand. Scout sniffed it politely, then gave it a friendly lick. He attacked me with his tongue. Rax jumped back. "That's called a kiss," Dr. Reed explained, stepping forward. "It's how dogs show friendship. Scout likes you." The alien security team watched in confusion as their fierce commander slowly reached out again. This time, when Scout licked his hand, Rax didn't jump. Instead, he made a sound that his troops had never heard before. He laughed. "All this time," Rax said, his voice filled with wonder, "we thought you were building monsters. But you took an animal and made it smarter while keeping its his love," Tom finished. "Dogs have been humanity's companions for thousands of years. We didn't create a weapon. We just helped our friends reach their full potential." Scout demonstrated more of his abilities, showing how he could assist with complex tasks, provide medical assistance, and even help with scientific calculations. But what impressed the aliens most was how he remained so gentle, so friendly, despite his enhanced capabilities. "Watch this," Tom said, pulling out a tennis ball. "Scout, catch." The aliens watched in amazement as Scout calculated the ball's trajectory, factoring in wind resistance and spin, plotting the optimal intercept course, all to play a simple game of fetch. His tail wagged the entire time. Commander Rax finally removed his helmet, revealing his scaled face. "In all my years exploring space, I've never seen anything like this. We thought we were dealing with savages who built biological weapons. Instead, we find beings who take simple creatures and elevate them while preserving their joy." Scout, having returned the ball, now sat between Tom and Rax, looking up at both with bright, intelligent eyes. He understood far more than a regular dog, but he also understood something the aliens were just learning. Sometimes the greatest power comes from friendship, not fear. "Commander," Tom said, pulling out another tennis ball, "would you like to try throwing it?" The sight of a mighty alien commander playing fetch with an enhanced dog, laughing like a child, would forever change how the Dominion saw humanity. The meeting site had transformed from a tense standoff into something that looked more like a picnic. Commander Rax sat cross-legged on the ground, his massive battle armor discarded nearby, while Scout showed him how to solve one of his training puzzles. "Remarkable," Rax muttered as Scout demonstrated the solution. "And you say all Earth dogs have this potential?" "All dogs are intelligent," Tom explained, watching Scout patiently guide the alien's four-fingered hand through the puzzle's sequence. "We just help them express it better. But what makes them special isn't their intelligence. It's their heart." The alien science officer, who had been scanning Scout nonstop, looked up from his devices. "Heart. Our scans show his cardiovascular system is fairly standard for an Earth mammal." Dr. Reed smiled. "Not his physical heart. We mean his capacity for love, loyalty, and friendship. That's something we didn't enhance because we didn't need to. Dogs already had that in abundance." As if to demonstrate, Scout left the puzzle and went to comfort a young alien technician who seemed nervous. The dog gently placed his head on the alien's lap, looking up with understanding eyes. The technician, after a moment of surprise, began to pet him. "How?" The technician's voice was full of wonder. "How does he know I was anxious?" "Dogs can sense emotions," Tom explained. "They naturally want to help when someone is stressed or sad. It's who they are." Commander Rax watched this interaction with growing fascination. "In all our travels, we've never encountered anything like this. We've seen weapons, tools, servants, but never companions like this." More alien crew members arrived from the shuttle, their initial fear replaced by curiosity. Scout greeted each one, somehow knowing exactly how to approach each individual, gentle with the nervous ones, playful with the more enthusiastic ones. "But what about the enhanced intelligence?" Sub-Commander Vix asked, watching Scout quickly solve another complex puzzle. "Surely that makes him different from regular dogs." Tom threw a stick, which Scout caught in midair after calculating a perfect intercept course. "The enhancements just help him understand more and communicate better. But look at him. He still enjoys simple things like fetch, just like any dog." The aliens watched in amazement as Scout switched between solving advanced mathematical problems and playing like a regular dog. He would decode encrypted messages, then roll over for belly rubs. He could operate complex equipment, but still got excited about treats. "We have a saying on Earth," Dr. Reed said, noticing Rax's thoughtful expression. "Dogs are the only creatures that love you more than they love themselves." Scout demonstrated this by bringing his favorite puzzle toy to a shy alien child who had just arrived. Instead of solving it himself, he showed the child how to do it, tail wagging encouragingly at each small success. "This changes everything," Rax said quietly. "We thought Earth's greatest achievement was creating a powerful beast. Instead, you've taken beings of pure love and helped them grow while keeping their essence intact." The alien commander stood up, making his announcement formal. "I must report this to the Dominion Council. They need to understand that Earth's strength isn't in weapons or conquest. It's in something far more powerful." "And what's that?" Tom asked, though he already knew the answer. "The ability to form true bonds across species," Rax replied, watching a Scout now led a group of alien children in a game of hide and seek, deliberately pretending not to find them right away despite his enhanced senses. "You didn't just make dogs smarter, you made them bridges between worlds." As the day drew to a close, Scout had made friends with nearly every alien present. He had shown them that intelligence without kindness was meaningless, and that true strength came from the heart. "Commander," Tom said as they prepared to leave, "would you like to meet the rest of Scout's team?" Rax's eyes widened. "There are more." Scout barked happily, already excited to introduce his alien friends to his dog family back at Site Echo. Site Echo's main training hall had never been so crowded. Alien diplomats stood shoulder to shoulder with human officials, watching in amazement as all 6 enhanced dogs demonstrated their capabilities as a team. Scout led the group, coordinating with his fellow dogs through a series of complex exercises. The Belgian Malinois Max solved encryption puzzles while the Dutch shepherds, Rocky and Storm, demonstrated advanced search and rescue techniques. The other German shepherds, Luna and Bear, showed off their medical responsibilities. Commander Rax couldn't take his eyes off the display. Your previous transmission mentioned unleashing the beast. Well, Tom grinned. We did warn you. The alien commander shook his head in wonder. We thought you meant monsters. Instead, you unleashed friendship, loyalty, and intelligence combined. I've already sent my report to the Dominion Council. As if on cue, a holographic message appeared in the center of the room. The Dominion Council, 12 ancient aliens wearing ornate robes, looked down at the assembled group. Commander Rax, the head counselor, spoke. Your report is most disturbing. You claim these humans have created enhanced beings that are both highly intelligent and friendly. Scout chose that moment to demonstrate his skills. He walked up to the hologram, calculated the light patterns, and used his knowledge of physics to create a shadow puppet that made it look like he was shaking hands with the head counselor. The council chamber fell silent. Then, surprisingly, the head counselor laughed. I see what you mean, she said. Tell us, humans, how did you achieve this? Dr. Reed stepped forward. We didn't create anything new. Dogs have been humanity's companions for thousands of years. We just helped them communicate better with us. The council watched as Scout returned to his team, organizing them into a formation that demonstrated perfect geometric precision, only to break it up when Tom produced a tennis ball, all 6 dogs suddenly becoming playful and excited. Remarkable. Another counselor noted. They can switch between high intelligence and pure joy without conflict. That's because we never tried to change who they are, Tom explained. They're still dogs. They still love treats, belly rubs, and playing fetch. They're just better at helping us now. Commander Rax stepped forward. Honorable Council, I recommend we immediately revise our assessment of Earth. These humans have done something none of our species ever considered. Oh, the head counselor leaned forward. And what is that? They've proven that advancement doesn't have to mean losing what makes us special. These dogs are living proof that intelligence and love can grow together. The council chambers erupted in discussion. Finally, the head counselor raised her hand for silence. We agree. Earth will not be conquered. Instead, we propose an alliance. We have much to learn from a species that can achieve such harmony with other beings. Scout barked happily, and all 6 dogs wagged their tails. Somehow, they understood the importance of the moment. There is one condition, the head counselor added, a hint of amusement in her voice. We request that some of our young ones be allowed to meet these remarkable beings. As if answering her request, Scout trotted over to a group of alien children who had been watching from the corner. He sat down gently, offering his paw to shake, showing that despite his enhanced intelligence, he was still, at heart, a friendly dog wanting to make new friends. The sight of alien children tentatively shaking paws with an enhanced dog while human and alien officials looked on marked the beginning of a new era. Not one of conquest or submission, but of understanding and growth. You know, Commander Rax said to Tom as they watched the scene, when we came here looking for beasts, we never expected to find teachers. The enhanced dogs, having finished their demonstration, now played with both human and alien children, their joyful barks echoing through Sight Echo's halls. They had not only saved Earth from invasion, they had shown the galaxy that true strength comes in many forms, and sometimes the gentlest creatures make the greatest impact. 6 months after the Dominion fleet's arrival, Earth had changed in ways nobody could have predicted. The massive alien ships still hung in the sky, but now they were welcome sights, embassies among the stars. At the newly established Interspecies Relations Center in Colorado, not far from the original Sight Echo, Commander Rax walked down a corridor with Tom Wilson. Both men smiled as they heard excited barking from the training yard. I still can't believe how much has changed, Rax said, his scaled face showing what humans now recognized as a grin. The Dominion Council has completely revised our first contact protocols. Now we scan planets for companion species before making any decisions. They stepped into the yard where Scout was teaching a class, half human students, half alien youngsters, about interspecies communication. The enhanced dog used holographic displays to demonstrate how different species expressed friendship, translating between human, alien, and canine body language. "How's your puppy doing?" Tom asked, noticing Rax's expression soften at the sight. "Star is challenging," Rax admitted, pulling out his data pad to show pictures of his German Shepherd puppy. "She chewed up my ceremonial robe yesterday. But look at her face. How can I be angry?" The photo showed a typical puppy expression of innocence mixed with mischief. It was the first time in Dominion history that a high-ranking commander had adopted an Earth pet. Now it was becoming a trend among alien diplomats. In another part of the yard, the other enhanced dogs were working with mixed teams of human and alien scientists. Luna helped with medical research, her enhanced understanding of both species biology proving invaluable. Max worked with the cryptography department, his puzzle-solving skills breaking new ground in interstellar communications. The Council's latest report shows a 300% increase in successful first contact missions. Rax continued. "Having dogs as ambassadors changes everything. It's hard to be afraid of a species that has such loyal friends." Scout finished his lesson and trotted over, carrying his diplomatic badge in his mouth. He was the first dog ever appointed as an official interstellar ambassador. The badge had teeth marks on it, proving that even enhanced intelligence didn't change some dog habits. "The breeding program is going well too," Tom said as Scout dropped the badge for a belly rub. "The new generation of enhanced puppies shows even better capability for bridging cultural gaps. They naturally understand both human and alien emotional cues." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. But instead of panic, everyone simply checked their schedules. "Ah," Rax chuckled. "Time for the weekly play session." The yard filled with children from a dozen species, all carrying balls, frisbees, and alien toys. The enhanced dogs coordinated like a well-trained team, making sure every child got attention, organizing games that helped different species learn to play together. "You know," Tom said, watching Scout referee a mixed game of fetch between human and alien kids, "when we started the enhancement program, we were thinking about military applications. We never imagined this." In the center of the yard, Star, Rax's puppy, tried to copy the older dog's diplomatic skills. She mostly just tripped over her own feet and made everyone laugh. But that was diplomacy too. A holographic message appeared above the yard. The Dominion Council checking in on their new favorite program. They watched the scene with obvious approval. "Earth is now rated as the Dominion's most valuable cultural partner," Rax said proudly. "All because we learned that the fiercest beast can be the gentlest friend." Scout barked in agreement, then returned to his work, bringing the galaxy together, one game of fetch at a time. He understood complex physics, advanced mathematics, and interstellar diplomacy. But more importantly, he understood love, friendship, and the universal joy of a good belly rub. As the sun set over the Interspecies Relations Center, dogs both enhanced and normal continued their most important mission, teaching the galaxy that sometimes the greatest power isn't in weapons or technology, but in the simple, endless capacity of a dog's heart. "Good boy," the universe seemed to say. And it was right.